Honourable Speaker, the technical assessment was conducted with the assistance of the International Telecommunication Union, or ITU, and engagement of an international expert in digital terrestrial television who has uncovered systemic flaws in the design and implementation of Walesi's digital television network. Number one, non-compliance with regulatory standards. Mr. Speaker, Walesi failed to obtain the necessary operating and spectrum licenses for its operations. So you can argue it was operating illegally. This not only exposed our nation to risks of interference from critical services like civil aviation, but this reflects poor oversight and negligence in complying with basic international telecommunication obligations. Number two, limited accessibility. While Walesi provided free set-top boxes to low-income households, encryption policies forced on families earning over $30,000 annually, forced families earning $30,000 annually, over $30,000 annually, to purchase proprietary services which are supposedly free-to-air services. This undermined the principle of universal accessibility. Number three, suboptimal network design. Honourable Speaker, the network was implemented using a multi-frequency network, MFN, a model which has significantly higher operational costs compared to the more efficient single-frequency network, which is recognized globally for providing better coverage and cost efficiency, especially in countries like ours. This basic failure of planning reflects lack of foresight. Number four, poor technology choices. Despite the global standards in 2016 pointing to the transition to more modern technology, the H.265 HEVC codec, the network instead utilized H.264 codec. This decision, Honourable Speaker, meant that over 200,000 set-top boxes distributed at significant public cost were outdated and from the beginning, and the question was not if, but when these would need to be replaced, making this an absolute waste of public funds. Number five, on the technical side, Honourable Speaker, no sustainable operating model. Honourable Speaker, the review highlighted the absence of a sustainable framework for Walesi's operations. There was no structured review model, no strategic pricing for broadcastings utilizing the network, and no long-term plan for infrastructure maintenance. This was a fundamental failure to think beyond the immediate. Incompetence and ineptitude. Part two, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, the special audit or the financial audit into Walesi's operations paint even a bleaker picture, one of fiscal irresponsibility, poor governance, and outright waste. Number one, mismanagement of public funds. From 2015 to 2022, December, Honourable Speaker, that side of the House disbursed a staggering $123.6 million to Walesi. Despite this massive investment, the company has remained heavily reliant on government funding due to its inability to generate sufficient revenue. Honourable Speaker, 10 payments totaling $9.3 million could not be substantiated, as relevant documentation was missing. This lack of records made it impossible to confirm whether these payments complied with the fund's intended purpose or legal requirements. The audit was also unable to identify the actual cost of the project against the budget. In fact, Honourable Speaker, there was no budget. And so the detailing of costs was not really transparent.